What is your monthly income from streaming and YouTube, etc.? I actually didn't expect this to come up. About a week ago, I went in my Discord, into my sub-only chat, and said, ask me anything, and I'll answer on stream. And we got 93 responses. So I'm going to go through this and answer as many as I can over the next couple of hours. So chat, first question. What is your favorite dinosaur? Now, I personally love Jurassic Park. I watched Jurassic Park. It was probably the first movie that actually made me scared as a child. The one scene that made me fucking jump in the theater, like this far, I'm not even joking, this far out of my chair, was, do you know when the kid, I can't remember his name, was it Sam? And he's like crawling through the vent and the Velociraptor headbutts the vent. That jump scene there. I freaked out as a kid. I wasn't afraid of the T-Rex for some reason. He was just like, because you knew he was coming. T-Rex can't do the surprise attacks. Velociraptor, clever girl. It was incredible. So, favorite dinosaur is Velociraptor. I know it's very boring. I don't have like a special dinosaur that like I could educate you on. That scene there, that scared the shit out of me. The kitchen sequence made me super nervous. Yeah. All right. That's a pretty straightforward one. What, in your opinion, is the best rifle in Escape from Tarkov? The best rifle? Like, so we're talking bolt actions, right? Or do you reckon they're talking about everything? If you're talking about bolt actions, I'd say, in my opinion, I love the M700, but it is probably the best. The best actual gun itself would be the SA58. There is no question about it. It's the highest DPM, DPS, damage per second. M61 in the SA58 is pretty much a laser beam, and it's so good, but it's very expensive. For the actual best rifle, as in bolt action, I'd say the M700. Best gun in general would be the SA58. I would say best bang for buck would probably be somewhere between the ADA or maybe the SKS would probably be the best bang for buck. So yeah, I don't know. The answer to this question is whatever you're the best with. Do you use anything to practice your aim, or is it all just from playing a lot of FPS games? So when I started playing Half-Life Deathmatch as that was like my first game that I really played really competitively. I was top 10 in Australia for a long time, and I played it a lot. Like, we're talking, I'd finish school and I'd play it till I went to bed. And I did that every day, all weekend with my mates. We had LAN parties all the time, and it was just, that's all we ever did. That's where I got a lot of my aim from. And then I moved into Counter-Strike, and I probably would have been very competitive in the Counter-Strike scene. This was before esports though, for Counter-Strike. And I can't find them. They're at my mum's somewhere. I have medals for winning Counter-Strike LANs. And I was like 16 years old. The one LAN that I won, the prize wasn't money. It was, you got to smash an old CRT monitor with a sledgehammer. There was no way you'd be able to do that today. Like, the OHS side of it would be insane. Like, there was no like safety glasses or anything. We just went outside outside the actual hall that the LAN was. They got a big sledgehammer and a big old CRT monitor, and it was like, and they make the bassiest noise. If you ever get to do it, like, if you ever find one, it's destruction of property, but like it's a lot of fun, and it makes the bassiest noise. It's like a big subwoofer. So a lot of fun. But that's where I got a lot of my aim from. And after Counter-Strike, World of Warcraft came out, and then I played World of Warcraft heaps, way too much. World of Warcraft, EVE Online, and Path of Exile, I played them a lot. And I always started getting back into first-person shooter games with CSGO and PUBG. And then, to be honest, I don't think my aim is like amazing. It's good, but it's not amazing. If you do want to get better, there is games out there, like Counter-Strike has like an aim trainer in it, in one of the download things you can do. But there's like aim labs and a heap of other games you can use to practice. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? I would still like to stream, but not nearly as much. I would like to stream, if in 10 years time, I think a good reference point would be like someone like Soda Poppin'. I think he kind of streams like every now and then, maybe like 3 or 4 times a month, maybe even like maybe a little bit more often if the game is kind of interested to him. I don't think I want to be streaming 200 hours a month and YouTubing on top of that full time. I actually want to do a lot more travel stuff. So if I could travel the world and make YouTube content for you guys, that would be the dream. And that's possible. If the world can tidy itself up and we can actually go back to traveling again, like, I'm going to be honest, with the money that I've made from streaming, I could potentially travel for years, literally years. If I could do that, that'd be great. I'd be 44. So I'd want to have a kid by then. I'm going to be honest, maybe 2 kids, which means I'm no longer an actual gamer. I'm respawning more gamers for you guys to compete against. And yeah, I don't know. I'd love to do a lot of travel stuff. I'm still going to be streaming. I don't think I could ever go without streaming now. I think it's just really cool just to be able to talk to you guys, and you guys are the reason why I pop in every day and talk. It's fun. I love this stuff. And it's why I want to do more of this stuff, where I get to talk to you guys and actually just have fun. And next. Hi, Pest. If something were to ever happen to EFT, would you continue to stream, and what would you stream? If EFT was to be deleted today, what would I do? I think I'm now established enough that I could probably just re-establish myself in a different game. And I think I always try and, like, if anyone's seen my Pestily Unmasked video, Embracing Change, I'm the kind of person that'd be like, all right, sweet, Escape from Tarkov's not around. What do I want to do now? And I would push myself to new heights in a new way. I actually think, I don't want to be like, I've already got all the followers in Tarkov, but like the opportunity for growth in Escape from Tarkov for me right now is actually quite low because a lot of people already know me. Therefore, I'm really only getting the followers from new people that are coming into Escape from Tarkov. If I was not longer able to play Tarkov, there would be a vacuum of players moving around to other areas, and some of my viewers would follow, and I could play other games and hopefully have a good following, and we could rebuild the stream somewhere else into it being a very successful stream somewhere else. What game would I play? I don't really know. I would honestly rather go into like fishing streams or some sort of IRL stream where I no longer dictated by a game, but I'm more dictated by me as a person. So for example, fishing streams or I could just do some sort of outdoor stuff. You know, Brock's from New Zealand, perfect example. Him and his wood crafting. I would love to do that. If I can find a house with a big man cave or garage, like someone literally just said in chat, it would be an amazing opportunity for me to go and teach you guys how to fix a car. I could remake cars. I could spray paint cars. I could do all that kind of cool stuff, and we could do it together. I could start a greenhouse, and you know how to plant vegetable patches, and we could build a cabin. All that kind of stuff sounds really exciting to me. Like, I'd still do gaming, but that stuff sounds exciting to me too. Are you a decent mechanic? So my dad and two of my brothers are mechanics, so I learned a lot from them. And if I ever had any questions, I'd be able to find the answer through them. What do you feel the 3 most important tangible goals the human race should focus on as a whole? We need to fix our impact on the environment. I'm guilty of it. You know, I do stuff that isn't great for the environment. It's the reason why when I go fishing now, I throw all the fish back into the ocean. You know, I don't keep them. My wife and I want to make sure we have solar panels on our house. We want to make sure we have as minimal impact on the environment as possible. I think definitely we need to work as a whole on fixing our environment. If you need a reason, go watch the David Attenborough doco, his testimony. Honestly, if that doesn't hit you in the feels, then nothing will. If anyone can convince you, it'll be David Attenborough in that doco. I think we also need to work on being nicer to each other. I think the human race is, I don't know if it's always been like this or I'm just imagining it, but I remember back when I was younger, everyone knew their neighbors. I did grow up in a smaller town, but everyone knew their neighbors. Someone needed help down the street, we'd go and help them. You know, it was just how I remember growing up. Like, you knew the person who lived across the street, down the road a little bit, and everything. And so I kind of think with the internet and with social media and that, we've kind of actually isolated ourselves more than ever. And I really wish that we could actually be more connected in helping each other. And it's kind of like, as soon as I had the opportunity to give back, my dream from this stream is, if I can help give back to the kids and I can give you guys some laughter and some fun, then hopefully you guys can give some laughter and fun to other people, and therefore we are going to better everyone for it. I'm a firm believer in paying it forward. Right? You don't have to give stuff back to me. Give it to other people and help them out. That would be number 2. Number 3, shit. Do I have to have 3? That's such a big question. What do you feel the 3 most important tangible goals the human race should focus on as a whole? Being nicer to each other, the environment, and equality across the board, from people coming from disadvantaged areas to race that's coming into being nicer to everyone too. You know what I mean? They're all kind of intertwined. So being nicer to each other and also like helping the disadvantaged. Right. I'm new to the stream, so you might have already answered this already, but what regiment were you a part of in the military? Did you meet anyone that would be lifelong friends, or not so much? I was in 7RER in the Australian Army. It's an infantry battalion. I served in that battalion for about 6.5 years, and then I did a year and a half studying Indonesian and living in Indonesia. So large portion of my military career was in 7RER, which was based out of Adelaide. It was based in Darwin. I was part of the move from Darwin to Adelaide. I did make some lifelong friends. Willie Beating Cancer, you might know him from my Instagram, and I've done some stuff with him. He's a good mate of mine that I met in the military. When he first got the battalion, he was 2IC, and we had some fun. It was cool. And then another mate, CC, who I'll be friends with forever. He's got my back no matter what, and I've got his back. So that's how it is. You just make some friends that you know. But that's not just that. Military life won't just do that. Like everywhere, you'll make friends and that. It is harder to make friends when you get older, though. Like, guarantee you that. That's why I started streaming. How do you keep such a positive mindset when raids go poorly? So this is obviously in reference to Escape from Tarkov. I kind of think of it as like every raid is a lesson, and hopefully you can learn from it. if you get a bad run of raids, I always just go with the theory of trying something different. So, for example, if I'm going fully geared and I get smacked for like 3 raids in a row, I'm like, all right, time to do a pistol backpack run or do a scav run, or I totally mix it up. Like, you need to think of it like this. If you are going into a raid, say a customs raid, there's 13 players that go in there and you go in solo. That means there's 12 other people that could kill you. Now, obviously, not everyone's going to come out of that raid alive. If you try and put the math behind it, even if you're really good at the game and you survive like, I don't know, 30 to 50% of your raids, that's like a 1 in 3 times you're going to survive, or 1 in 2 at best. Like, it's not a simple thing to have to successfully survive lots of raids in a row. So for every time you survive like 5 raids in a row, there's a good chance you're going to die 10 to 15 in a row. Like, that's just how it is in Tarkov sometimes. So I just kind of understand that Tarkov, not everyone, you're not meant to survive every raid. You're not meant to always have win streaks, and losing streaks are a part of Tarkov too. Mix it up. If you're going through a bad streak, try doing something different. Do some scav runs. Or if you're getting really there's frustration and there's angry. If you're getting angry, stop playing the game, load up bloody Teamfight Tactics or Apex Legends or whatever game you've got, Path of Exile, that's a chill game for you. Go play another game for a bit and just relax and just be like, oh, but I'll just play it tomorrow. Right? Gaming is meant to be giving you some sort of enjoyment. How do I convince my girlfriend that Tarkov is more important than sex? So this is a very difficult question for females in particular to understand, but some do get it. You really do need to just explain to them that girlfriends aren't forever. Sex isn't forever, but Tarkov is. So you need to put the time and effort into Tarkov to make sure that you can always enjoy it for a long period of time. Whereas like with a girlfriend, they'll come, they'll go. These things happen. And you got to tell them, if you really want to lock me down, you have to marry me, you have to help support me. And then after that, help me make more gamers in the world. Otherwise, leave them. Do you use a separate audio track for music to avoid getting DMCA strikes? I don't actually have any music that I'm not allowed to play on my stream. So all the music that I play on my stream is either been artists that have emailed me or publicly said on Twitter that we can use their music. However, I do put my music on a second audio track, so then the VOD doesn't have any mutes in it, and then that way if people want to watch the VOD, there's no issues there. For YouTube though, obviously none of that music can go on the YouTube videos, otherwise the revenue would go to that person. So I don't have any music on my YouTube videos that I don't have permission for, which is usually I use Epidemic Sounds. But yeah, guys, I don't think it's worth fucking around with the whole DMCA side of things. If people want to listen to like dodgy, like not dodgy, but like music that I don't have permission to use, and just say, I'll just put it on my second audio track and not get banned, good luck to them. Like seriously. And I know there's some big streamers that do it. Some friends of mine too. It's their livelihood. Like if this was to get permanently banned, if I was to get permanently banned, I'd like, fuck. All right, go on to mow lawns now or some shit, you know? Did you and Christina plan on having kids and starting a family? Christina is CH, by the way. That's all right. You didn't know. Yes, we are. Don't know when, but obviously it won't be ages away. Probably within the next 3 or 4 years. Plan on having kids. I don't know how many. Okay, this is the theory I had. I want to have maximum 3 kids, and I'd love to have a boy. All right? I don't know why, but I'd like to have a boy. But if we had 2 girls, I'd stop. Because there is no fucking way I'm having 3 girls. All right. So if we get a boy on the first one, sure, have a girl on the second. It'd be fine. But if I get to 2 girls and it's like, well, we could go for a boy on the third. Nuh-uh. I ain't risking that shit. I'm not risking that shit. What's wrong with girls? 3 girls. Gina. 3 girls. That means there'll be my wife and 3 girls and then me. I ain't winning any of that. This plan is the best. Have 2 girls and a boy. Well, okay. One peg. I'll just separate my sperm to one side that are female. Like the male sperms. It doesn't work like that. It's like rolling the dice. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. Don't do it to them. I got 1 boy and 1 girl and a vasectomy scheduled. That'll be me, bro. I'll be 100%. As soon as we have, if we have a boy and a girl, bam. Vasectomy, we're good. We're good. What's your favorite gaming snack? I like Starburst. I'm a big Starburst fan. But if I have too many, I feel sick. Do you plan on going back to Europe after the pandemic and finishing your planned trips from 2020? Yes, 2024 penciled in as returning to Europe. However, that is very much dictated by how the world is handling COVID and how the world is going to be situated, obviously. So if everything goes back to normal and we can travel, 2024, I'd love to go back to Europe and properly travel around and see all the countries and climb mountains and meet people and and stream and all that stuff. It could be a lot later than that. It could be in 10 years, but we definitely do want to do it again. We want to do it properly. What should be the number one focus for a new streamer? Discoverability. And oh fuck, there's so much to this question. The number one focus is you need to find what you're good at and then be the best at it, which could take some time. So for example, if you're really good at teaching people, you need to become the best teacher. If you're really good at killing people, you need to be the best at killing people. If you're really good at entertaining people, you need to be the best entertainer. If you're good at all three, you should try to be the best at all three at the same time. Right? And then from that point, you should then try and become discoverable. So you got to do all of it at the same time. So you need to be increasing your content quality, putting as much content out there in discoverable ways. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you need to have all them going. Instagram, is my opinion, whilst also improving your content quality and making sure there's plenty of it out there to be discovered. So I would probably say at the moment, if I was to start again, if it was my very first day streaming again, I would put 50% of my time into Twitch, 50% of my time into YouTube. 100%, like that's 100% how I would do it. I did probably 80 to 90% of my time on Twitch with 10 to 20% on YouTube. And I feel like I could have definitely done a lot better pushing out YouTube more earlier on at a higher quality. It's a very big question to answer in detail, but that's the answer you're going to get. What's your favorite movie / TV show / book? Favorite movie? I have 3 favorite movies. We've spoken about this a fair bit. I actually think I got a YouTube on my Pestily on Mars channel about it. Forrest Gump, Braveheart, and Fight Club are my 3 favorite movies. TV show. I've watched a lot of TV shows. I can watch Friends anytime. Like I've watched the complete lot of Friends probably 3 to 5 times. Probably Dexter for the first 3-4 seasons of Dexter I've watched a lot, but I haven't watched it. I haven't watched the last seasons a lot, and after like season 3 it really dies off for me, but I really love that show. Is it Dark Angel, the one with Jessica Alba? I've watched that one probably like 3 times too, 4 times. They actually made a book. There was like 3 books after it too. I love that show too. I love the concept behind it. It was actually really, really cool show. That would be probably for the TV shows. If you haven't seen Dark Angel, you should watch it. It's a little bit dated now, but it's actually quite good. Books, The Ancient Future by Tracy Harding is my favorite book. I think there's about 12 books now in that series, or 15 books. If you're into fantasy novels, it's kind of aimed at like late teens, I guess. Really good book. My wife has read all of them, and she was really, really happy that I introduced it to her. Really interesting concepts, like it talks about reincarnation and immortality and stuff too. So yeah. All right. Do you like being a large Twitch streamer, or did you enjoy it more when you had a few hundred followers watching you on Twitch? All right. There's benefits to both. So for me, I think the most enjoyable time streaming on Twitch is probably around the 300 to 2,000 viewer mark, where you can actually have full conversations with your chat and actually learn more about your actual community and your viewers. So like this stream right now, where we've got a lot more people that are actually here for me, is actually really cool, because I actually will learn a lot more about you guys at the same time as me, you guys learning about me. So it's actually really cool around those numbers. However, people do want to get set up, and making a lot of money, as much as it's like, you know, I guess like, I don't want to say people are shunned for making lots of money, but it is good to make a lot of money. So the fact that you can, 1, you don't have to worry about like, oh, what if I don't make enough money to pay the bills? And 2, like I can set myself up so post streaming, I can actually live life and still, you know, not have to worry about going back to a typical 9 to 5. I honestly think I'm going to work as probably like a gardener, and I'm just going to mow lawns. I'm going to buy a tractor and a ride-on mower, and I'm just going to go around and mow people's lawns. I'm not even joking about that. I just want a job where I don't have to think, and I'll just mow lawn. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to do weeding, edging, or anything like that. I'm literally just going to mow fucking lawns. There's benefits to both. I would not want to sit around the 200 viewership for a long time. I think it would be really stressful. I think it would be like, it's stressful for me, and I have a very large audience to be able to constantly bring out good quality content consistently for you guys, and that's stress to me. But having that stress on top of also not being able to pay the bills, or stress that you're not going to have enough subs, that would be really, really bad for your mental health. And I know a lot of streamers go through a lot of issues with burning out and stuff like that. It would be really difficult to sit in that area for a long period of time and to try and do it full time. What is your biggest goals for 2021, 2022? Interesting. I actually didn't really set many goals for this year. I wanted to hit 1 million subs on YouTube and 1 million followers on Twitch. I think that's pretty much it. and to get all my socials verified, which I think I've got nearly all the socials verified now. Instagram just got verified. Twitter got verified. We're 108,500 from 1 million on Twitch, and we've got 500,000 subs to go on YouTube. It's not like a big, it's not, oh, I got TikTok to get verified too. It's not like a big goal, but I think goals can be good and bad at the same time. I actually really want to just focus on enjoying my content as much as possible. And that's probably my biggest goal for 2021, 2022. Just focus on enjoying my content as much as possible, really trying to connect with my audience. And that's why you're actually seeing me do more stuff like this, the Pestily Unmasked channel. What else? Like, I'm going to play a little bit of different games, nostalgic games like Age of Empires 2 is a perfect example, and stuff like that. So if you had to be a pie based on your personality, what kind of pie would you be? Ned Kelly. I'd be a Ned Kelly pie. Chat's like, what the fuck is a Ned Kelly pie? The recipe is 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 free range egg, lightly beaten, 2 tablespoons of wine vinegar, 3 eggs, 3 rashers of bacon, 1 onion finely chopped, 1 cup of water, 1 beef stock. There's more to it. I don't know. It's like a bacon and egg pie, I guess. Kind of like a quiche. What are the most common annoyances that you see people asking you in Twitch chat? This is just inviting people to ask me these questions. People asking when the wipe is doesn't even bother me. Not even slightly. They're not really asking me. The most common annoyances is people judging people by their appearance. And it doesn't even have to be in my chat. If you're not going to say something nice about someone's appearance, you shouldn't say anything at all. That's the only thing that pisses me off about Twitch chats. My community is pretty good with it. I just think it's really, really disrespectful. Even if you mean the right intentions by it too. Like you're worried about someone's health or something. Like DM them. Like if you're really worried about someone's health, send them a DM. But if you're in the chat saying, you look like shit today, you look tired, you look haggard, that's fucking rude. Should the KS-23 and grenade launcher be removed from Tarkov? Grenade launcher, yes. I actually think there's no place for the grenade launcher in Tarkov. It doesn't really add to the game. I never go into a raid, hear a grenade launcher go off and go, this is going to be a sick raid, or this is going to be good. Even when I take it in myself, I don't even feel good for doing it. So I don't really see how it adds to Tarkov. I understand Nikita wants it to be cool and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't really add anything. The KS-23, I think it's fine. The star round either needs to be nerfed or removed, but the actual gun itself is fine. A shotgun should be devastating. You should be scared of a shotgun. If you walked around a corner in real life and someone shot you point blank with a KS-23 or even like just a 12 gauge shotgun at point blank, and they hit you in any part of the fucking body cleanly, you would be in the hurt locker. You would either be dead or in the hurt locker. So it should be still in the game. And I think as much as it frustrates me to die to a shotgun, particularly the KS-23, shotguns need to be scary. And one last point about shotguns in Tarkov is I think shotguns in Tarkov is honestly the most accurate representation of shotguns out of any game I've ever played. All the like Battlefield, Call of Duties and PUBG and all them, shotguns the rounds seem to just disappear after like 3 meters. In Tarkov, you can shoot a buckshot at someone at 50 meters and kill someone, and that's what it's like in real life. You should be able to shoot someone at a considerable distance with a buckshot or a slug and to be able to kill them. Even shotgun scavs. You know what, chat? Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. It is super fucking easy to shoot a gun. A scav should be like. I gave my wife a Remington 700, and she was hitting stuff out to 100 meters first, like straight away. Not even no issues. It's not hard to shoot a gun. It's hard to shoot a gun with a high heart rate and running around like crazy with people shooting back at you. Yes. But if you're standing still and someone else is standing still and you both shoot at each other, if you both miss, you must be doing something completely wrong. The only guns that are actually really hard to shoot are pistols. And that's because of the short barrel length, and the smallest amount of adjustments will make the biggest difference. But pistols are hard to shoot. After pistols, everything else is easy. Shotguns, rifles, assault rifles, all them. I'm talking in real life. So guns, if scavs are destroying you in Tarkov, you shouldn't be in the open. Who's your personal favorite Twitch streamer and Tarkov Twitch streamer? My personal favorite Twitch streamer. I watch 3. I don't really watch streams much anymore, but my 3 streams that I usually do watch is Sayanoe. She's a musician. She streams EU time, so it's late night for me. So I don't really watch her stream anymore, but she does really cool music streams. Nathan Cavallari, he's His music streams are amazing. And Kiki on Sunday nights for confessions. If you want to check out streams, those three, go check them out. For Tarkov Twitch streamers, the only Tarkov stream I used to actually watch, like actively watch, was Anton. And he's taking a break. So Anton's probably the only one that I actually would go out of my way to watch. There's heaps of great streamers out there, but the answer is, who's my personal favorites? I don't know. Not for Tarkov. I don't, because most of the time I watch streams for background noise and music. And so for me, that's what I go to Twitch for. Everyone has their reasons why they go to Twitch. Sometimes it's banter, sometimes it's education, sometimes it's, I don't know, eye candy, who knows? But everyone's got their own reason. For me, it's more of just background noise while I'm doing other stuff. So that's why musicians are really cool. People that tell really good stories, or there's good conversation. So what's the most fun you've had with a duo partner in Tarkov? Ooh, it would be a coin flip between probably Swagger Souls and Aqua FPS. Both of them have been so enjoyable to play with, because it doesn't even become about playing Tarkov. It's just about the fun and laughter. I would have to say notable mentions right here. Quattro Ace, doing duos with Quattro Ace when I don't speak Russian and he doesn't speak English was heaps of fun. When I was living in Europe, it was so much fun trying to, like, chista, which means clear. And what was ready? I can't remember. But that was the only two words I remembered. I said, what's clear? And Gatov. That's it, Gatov. So I remember how to say ready and clear. And then that's it. We played. That was really fun. And Deadly Slob is always fun to, when I play duos with Deadly Slob, it's like a podcast. We're just talking about life and the universe, and it's just heaps of fun. So all of them are great, but most fun would be either Swagger Souls or Aqua, I'd imagine. What are your hopes for the next wipe and future of Tarkov? Next wipe, I would imagine it's probably going to be with Lighthouse, which is probably going to be a few months away. If it's not with Lighthouse, then who knows? I would hope that there is some sort of decent overhaul of some sort of content, either the main storyline or new tasks or something of new content, because I don't want to say the game's getting dry, but it is. Like there's a lot of just repetitiveness now. So I feel like I've done everything so many times over. Hardcore, snowballs, race series and that. I want it to be new and exciting for you guys. So when I make content, and so that's why I'm doing other stuff at the moment. But yeah, hopefully the new wipe will come with either a new map or some solid overhaul of new information and new stuff. And the future of Tarkov, obviously I want the game to be completed in the vision of Battlestate Games, and they have a really good time doing it. Like I think the development cycle should be enjoyable for the development team and also us. So I got a mustache hair that's tickling inside my nostril. That's why I keep scratching it. I want to have this really exciting, brutal game that makes me feel really high and really low all in the same day. So hopefully the future of Tarkov is a great future with all that stuff involved. Are you afraid of spiders? Nope. I'm not afraid of spiders at all. Redback spiders and funnel webs are really dangerous in Australia. They don't scare me at all. Most of the time because I know where to look. I don't really get surprised by spiders. The one time I did get surprised by a spider, it was a huntsman. It was about this big. It was about that big. So in reference to my head, it's like, I don't know, like about that big. I was driving along. Well, before I left, I drove from Melbourne to Adelaide. Before I left, I saw a spider in my car. I saw a huntsman in my car, and it went into my air vent. And I couldn't get it out. I squirted water in there. I tried everything. Could not get it out. And I was driving. I got all the way to Adelaide, and I was in the suburbs, just about home. And I looked to the right, and there was a fucking spider on the window right next to my face. The huntsman was. Normally, it wouldn't scare me to see a huntsman, but because of the sheer fucking size of it right next to my face, it scared the shit out of me. And I was in the right-hand lane. In Australia, it's obviously opposite to America. And I swerved across the whole fucking road and nearly mounted the curb out of fear. I was just like, ah! Like, ah! Like, I was like that. If there was a car next to me, I would have sideswiped the fuck out of it, and I would have probably killed us all. I wasn't going that fast, to be honest, but still, it scared the shit out of me. It could have been really brutal. And I honestly think that there would probably be a lot of people in the world that would actually have car accidents because of spiders. So, hey Paul, how's everything at home with that weird schedule being based Australia-based with the large NAEU fan base? It's good. How do you and the wife make sure to have time for each other with such a weird schedule, nonetheless, friends and family? Well, friends and family have always been neglected since I've been streaming because of just how many hours I put into my stream and YouTube. So I try my best to just make sure I make it to the main events. But I kind of see it as you got to work hard to build it up initially. And then the way I see it is once you get established enough, you can take time to spend time with friends and family. So that's what I'll be working on more this year, of course, which my mum's visiting right now. She just literally walked in. The actual spending time with my wife's easy because I stream from 4 a.m. till lunchtime. My wife gets up at 8 a.m. and she'll work until probably about 2 o'clock. And then after 2 o'clock, I get to spend time with my wife. So yeah, it's usually pretty good. I get to spend time with my wife every day. And then I usually do any YouTube stuff in the evenings because particularly like the Raid series, I want to film during the peak hour times. So I usually film that between like 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And I usually in bed by 10 o'clock at night. So it's not too difficult though. Largest fish you ever caught? I caught like a 52 centimeter King George whiting. I'm not like a big like fisherman. Like I love fishing, but I'm not like an experienced hardcore fisherman. I just like fishing. So for me, I usually target King George whiting, flathead, garfish, and squid. Caught some pretty monster squid, and King George whiting 52. I think is the biggest I've ever got. If you are in the act of using a key, shouldn't there be a chance to drop that key? Maybe the chance drop it depends on the rarity of the key. No, I don't think this would actually be good. I don't think this would actually be a good idea. I think just to add durability to keys, and then that would be good enough. Because if you had a chance to drop it, and all it's going to promote is people camping doors. Like people will just camp the keyboard door, the marked room doors, the red keycard doors. Like they'll just find weird angles to camp doors, and it just won't add anything to the game. Whereas add durability to keys, and then and I'm not talking like 5 uses. I'm talking any of the like the really high tier loot rooms. Keep it like the marked room key, which is 25, and every other key just make it 50. Done. Keys will all hold some sort of value. Because right now, early wipe is worth like 5 million rubles, and then at this stage of the wipe, every single key in the game besides the lab keys pretty much cost value. Like the price you would sell it to therapists is how much you could sell it to the flea market for. Sell it on the flea market for. Which kind of means there's no real, I don't know what the word is, but there's no removal of the keys, therefore they don't really hold value. Value sustainability. There's the one. There's no value sustainability. You think Twitch will be your final career? Is there anything else after that? YouTube. I want to be vlogging and traveling and sharing those experiences with you guys. And then I'll probably become a lawnmower mower. You seem very good at pursuing your dreams no matter what and making them happen. What is your secret? How did you overcome the seemingly large mountains in life, like selling your place and moving to Europe, going full-time with streaming, joining the military, etc.? I'm a very goal-driven person. So for me, I just break it down into a process. I don't just go, I don't just go, I gotta go to Europe. Like it's a process. It's a matter of like I have to figure out what stages and what things have to happen to get it to happen. So I'll speak to people that either know about it and I'll work it all out. But I've always felt like I've wanted to live my life how I've wanted to live it. I haven't been a very big advocate of like following other people or following the herd. If I was an antelope, I would have been eaten by a tiger or a lion. Like it'd be a lion for antelope. I would have been eaten by a lion like a long time, like straight away. Like I'd be like, hey, everyone's going over there, but I want to go over here. What's over here? You know, and I'd be dead. You should live life how you want to live it to the best, like obviously within the rules. I don't want to go too much of a tangent, but you should take the time. If you guys are above 25, you can do it younger. There's no reason why you couldn't do it younger. But if you're above 25, you don't have to do this, but if you feel like it, sit down, write down a few titles. Let's go with like family or like I don't know, like let's call it like relationship. We'll call it relationship, adventure, career, and let's say milestones. All right. And write a bucket list and write as many things under each of those titles as possible. Right. All the things in life you want to achieve in those titles. Could be money, could be like adventure stuff, family stuff, all that kind of stuff. And then start fucking doing those things. Start everything you plan in your life. Start doing it and progressing towards that list. Because that is the stuff you want to do in your life. You don't... Why do other stuff if that's not what you want to do? Do the stuff on that list. Or do stuff that's going to get it so you can do the stuff on that list. I know that's a bit of a tangent, but honestly, guys, I did that like about 6 years ago. I've been really working towards it. I need to find that list. I'm actually going to share it with you guys. All right, next. What are the things you are most looking forward to currently? My Nana's 90th birthday party. I think that's going to be really cool. I'm going to see a heap of family and see my Nana. My Nana helped raise me, so she's a very, very important person to me. That's like very imminent, I guess. Like that's in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Street to Tarkov. I'm looking forward to. I'm not overly hyped about it, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really cool. If you asked me this like 3 weeks ago, I would have said my car. I try to look forward to each day. Spending time with my wife. I'm not like I don't know. I don't really have a lot for this answer. I'm sorry. I got a couple of career stuff I'm looking forward to, like some things I'm going to be releasing to you guys in the next probably 3 to 6 months that I'm excited to share with you. What do you think is the hardest thing you ever did and got through? I think my recon course is probably one of the most physically difficult things I ever did in my life. Like we did like an 8-day patrol where we slept probably 2 to 3 hours a night and was walking and stuff the whole time. That was really physically difficult. But I don't know. 48-hour stream was quite hard. It felt good at some points, and there was some times I was like, "Fuck this!" Like it was quite brutal. I wish I had a better answer to this. Mentally, this is a difficult one for everyone. But last year was actually really difficult for me mentally, not because of anything like that most people would complain about. And I explained this on my Pestily Unmasked video. I think it was my very first video, and I spoke about how leaving Europe for me was a really difficult time because it felt like I failed a lifelong goal. So my goal to go to Europe and climb every mountain and meet people stopped because of COVID, right? And now a lot of people will be like, yeah, but you can do it again in the future. But a lot of people don't understand the fact that the best way I can refer to it and reference it, guys, is imagine training up for the Olympics and then the Olympics being cancelled, right? And that was your whole lifelong goal. Well, whilst traveling Europe for me isn't an Olympic gold medal, and in a lot of people's eyes, it's just a fucking it's just traveling. But for me, that was my Olympics. That was my life goal. So for me not being able to complete that for no fault out of my own was very difficult for me because I felt like I failed my objective, my goal, and I potentially won't be able to do it again. And I know you guys will just be thinking, but you can do it again. It's not going to be the same. Like we spoke about this earlier, I'll probably have kids at some point in the next 5 years, right? So it'll be a different experience. It was meant to be like, I'll be backpacking, I'll be traveling and meeting people, sleeping on people's couches. That was the original goal for it. There was a time last year I took off about 13 days straight. It was the longest I'd taken off streaming. We hired a BMW convertible and we drove around the Netherlands and that. And that was kind of just a chance for me to just see the country and just reflect like that. And that was a bit of a difficult time for me mentally because I love streaming and I love talking to you guys and I love playing Tarkov and playing computer games. But at the same time, it was a really difficult time for me because of the whole COVID situation. I understand, guys, that, like I said, I don't want to downplay the fact that people lost lives during COVID. Like, you know, that's fucked. Like, I hate the fact that people are dying right now because of it. But that's how it is. What are your top 5 bands? Holy shit. Rise Against, Slipknot, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. I'm sure I would have missed some, but there's 5 that I like to listen to a lot. How's that? In WoW, what was the one piece of loot you went into a raid for 1,000,000 times, but it got either rolled away or just didn't drop at all? Kazarin? It's not Kazakhstan. Kazarin? What's the one in Deadwind Pass? Karazhan. And it's like the first boss drops a mount. I can't even remember what it is now. I ran that so many times to get the mount and it never dropped. I think it was an undead horse. I can't remember. There was a boss in Karazhan that I ran. We're talking, this is like 12, 13 years ago now. During the Burning Crusade. Yeah, it was midnight. Yeah. That one. That was brutal. But I got my Lost Time Proto Drake. So, after I got the Lost Time Proto Drake, nothing really compared after that. Like, I was like, I have the best mount in the game. Don't at me. Why did you choose the Plague Mask as your channel logo? Pestilence. So, Pestily is based around Pestilence. So, therefore, Pestilence... the Plague Mask was kind of perfect because Pestilence is like one of the 4 horsemen, a bringer of like plague, disease, and that. So I played the long game. I was like, you know what? Maybe in about 2 or 3 years' time, there'll be a massive pandemic. And if I've got a Plague Mask as a logo, it'll fit perfectly in sync with the actual pandemic going on. So we'll do Plague Mask, Pestilence, Pestily. It's going to be great. It's going to be all, and I can sell Plague Masks for everyone in time for the actual pandemic. So a little bit short with the Plague Mask thing, but also, can you put a shoe on your head? No. I don't own any shoes. I don't leave the house. What is your favorite alcoholic beverage? Kraken. I love my spiced rum Kraken. I am fond of Jameson, but I kind of can't drink it anymore because it always makes me black out. And 150 Lashes by James Squire. It's an Australian beer. They're my go-to poisons. Given the benefit of hindsight, is there anything you would have done differently? Not really. I think what we do is defines us as people. So therefore, if something had been done differently, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I know a lot of people right now in chat are saying stairs, and I get that, but also now I'm more cautious around staircases. So maybe next time I'm going to be a little bit slower down the staircase, and I'm not going to run. I'm going to hold onto the handrail. I don't think I would change much. If there was anything I would change, it would probably be between 18 and 21. I would have done less of what my mates wanted me to do and more traveling. I would have seen more of Australia and traveled the world more in those years before I joined the army. What did you enjoy most of the stay in the Netherlands? Is there anything Dutch you missed being back in Australia? Is there anything Dutch that I missed being back in Australia? I missed the servers. That was my mum, yeah. I miss playing on European servers. Being able to play with people from America and Europe. That's the main thing I miss. Why does this game feel like Call of Duty with extra steps? It's because some people treat it like that. But though people that play it like Call of Duty are the ones that are also going to die to the people that are playing it slow and methodical. All your sweaty WQ streamers, the ones that are running around killing everyone, that are also sweaty running around WKing, are the ones that also complain about the person that shot them, that was hiding in a corner or hiding in an angle that's really good and killed them. So they're allowed to play like that because that's how the game is designed, and you can play this game however you find it enjoyable. So what is it that gives you drive in life to be the best you can be? I don't want to feel like I lived my life, and I don't want to feel like I went through life and didn't live. That's pretty much the motto of my life. Right, so like I said a little bit earlier about the bucket list thing and that. I spoke about the bucket list thing before, and how I every step in my life now is towards getting that bucket list done and doing those things. Focusing on enjoying life and doing what you need to do to get through and enjoy life. So that's it. No, it's not. It's really difficult, but you just got to work hard towards it. What is your fondest memory of your streaming career so far? Probably raising the million for the kids. I think that stream was really cool. It was the therapist stream, wasn't it? And Nikita replaced me as therapist, and us raising, the million for the kids is just, it's something I'll cherish for the rest of my life. As a community, we were able to achieve that. So thank you everyone that was involved in that. And also the people that helped raise the 122,000 the other day. Did you go to college, university, and what did you study? I studied game design and development at university for 3 months, and I quit. I didn't like it. I thought, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? It was like, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like, I think it was like computer fundamentals. And it had this like the most stereotypical bloody IT professor, and he had the most monotone voice ever. And he was talking about pretty much computing. And it was so dry. It was like the rules of computing. And I was so dry. And I was sitting there falling asleep. And I'm like, I'm out. No, it was like talking about the law, like the rule and the coding of computing. I was like so fucking done with it. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. What was your favorite childhood memory? Probably riding my bike around Lara. It's a place just out of Geelong where I used to ride to the Yangs, and we used to like ride around and have fun. All my mates and I still catch up with most of those mates too from primary school. Currently, once people get Kappa, the most of them stop playing and the play base seems to decline until what? What do you feel could be added post-Kappa to keep players engaged? The easiest answer to this is a prestige system. And I actually think you should prestige to get the Kappa. And I know this would piss people off, but overall, I think it would be better. You get all the quests done. It says, congratulations. Would you like to prestige to get the Kappa? You press yes. You go back to level 1. You have to do all the quests again, and you keep your passive skills. That's it. Level 1, starting stash, but with a Kappa container, and you keep your passive skills. And then you have to start again. And I think that would be, you could do that as many, but after you do it the second time, maybe you get, I don't know, bonus to something. Like bonus flea market sales, or I don't know. Who fucking cares? Just make it so there's a replayability. Like prestige code. Yep. Could be clothes, could be a golden dog tag, it could be anything. Just some sort of way to just make it replayable. What's your dog's name? Lindsay. How old are they? She's 10. And when can we expect a Pestily vlog where you take them for a walk? I've only got the one dog, Lindsay. I don't know. When can we expect it? When do you want to do that, dog? She's just looking at me now. She's like, Dad, when? When do you want to do that? Soon? All right, we'll do it soon. How has seeing major success as a broadcaster affected you on a personal level? Do you feel any pressure to perform? And if so, how do you manage that? I feel no pressure to stream. I'm being legit, chat. I stream because I enjoy it. I am very lucky for the fact that we are now very financially stable because of this like success and you guys doing it, supporting us so well. So I don't feel any pressures, but I do feel the pressure. I have to be on a good level when I do stream. You know, if I'm feeling tired in that, I tend to take the day off now, whereas in the past I would just push through it. I'd rather feel good streaming and you know, be the best I can be in front of you guys. So then that way we don't have to worry. I don't have to hear the comments of you look tired and all that other stuff. So, but on a personal level, I've definitely neglected time with my friends and family, but they understand. And the aim is to make it so then I can spend more time in the future. So instead of me working a 40-hour week life for the rest of my life, you know, I'm hopefully taking years off that, so I can actually have some kids, spend time with my kids growing up and not have to work, you know, full time for my whole life for the rest of my life. So that's the aim at least. Best spot to eat in Australia, and specifically best burger in Australia. There's actually a place in Melbourne called 8-Bit. I don't know if it's still around, but they did really good burgers, and it's based off like 8-bit video games. That was really good. But it's best spot to eat in Australia. I went to Key, which is overlooks Sydney Harbour, the Sydney Harbour Bridge and Sydney Opera House. It's probably the best restaurant in Australia. I'm sure it's not the best anymore, but it was the best. It was the best when I went there, and it was super expensive. It was like $3,500 for the 8 of us to go. It was a special event for my cousin's 30th. It was incredible. It was literally the best food I've ever eaten in my life. It was a little of a treat to do that. With how toxic gaming can get, leading into bullying and sometimes to end of life, could you advocate mental health? I feel this isn't brought up to light anymore. With everyone being pent up during this pandemic, it'd be huge help. Love the content, by the way. Keep it on. I don't stand for bullying at all. I know I pick on people in chat from time to time, and I understand that sometimes I tread the line, but I generally don't. I'm not rude to someone unless they're rude to me first. And if they're rude to me first, then obviously they're opening the floodgates to cop everything fucking back straight at them. So, but I do understand that people also go through shit times. So someone might come into my chat and go, "You're a piece of shit fucking streamer," but they might have also just been dumped. They might have lost a family member. So they might be going through the worst fucking state ever, and they just needed to vent somewhere. So if I rip into someone too hard, then obviously I could be worsening that situation. So I generally try to avoid it, but sometimes I need to just vent myself back at them. These things happen, but I definitely think mental health is a big issue, and the pandemic isn't helping that. I feel like I advocate mental health stuff a lot, don't I? I might not be like financially supporting it with charity events, but I definitely talk about it as a community. So do you have any interest in cars, e.g. are you fussy with what car you own or anything that gets you from A to B? I'm a motor mechanic at Ford, and seeing you have a Mustang was a delight. Lovely car to drive. It was definitely very fun to drive. It was very comfortable. Yes, I'm more of a Holden fan than Ford. I don't know if you're Australian or not, whoever asked this question, but Ryan Walkinshaw actually hangs out in the chat, and he said that if I'm in Melbourne, I can go check out he said I can take a Walkinshaw for a drive, which is a VL Walkinshaw. If I get to drive that, it's going to be insane. So I'm going to hit him up next month when I'm catching up with Swagger Souls, and if I could do that, that'd be sick. And I do like the idea that I'll be able to do a car stream where I build a car on stream, like a restore a car on stream. So it's on my to-do list. I was looking at doing a charger. It's a charger, right? The Dukes has a car, but it was too expensive. Just getting the car to Australia from America was like 40 grand, even in a like a shit state where I'd have to do everything. So I don't know. I might just get some sort of little shit box and we'll just have fun with it. Put a big turbo in it and have some fun. But my favorite car is a VL turbo, just so for the person that asked this question. Actually, there's a little bit more to go to this one. Also, he said, do you have any fussy with owning a car? So my wife and I are into four-wheel driving as well. So we've just bought a brand new Nissan Patrol, 2021 Nissan Patrol. And also we own a Suzuki Grand Vitara, which is already quite pimped out for four-wheel driving. We're going to be spending a lot of money on the Nissan Patrol, modding that out. And there'll be footage up on the Pestily Outdoor channel once I rebrand it. What is your monthly income from streaming and YouTube, etc.? I actually didn't expect this to come up. So I usually sit around 10 to 15,000 subs. I have ad revenue, obviously bits on top for Twitch. I don't do a lot of sponsored streams. I'll tell you all my ways of making money, right? Yes, I have subs, bits, ad revenue. And then I have my YouTube on top. I have staff on top of this. So then I pay my staff. I have currently 8 staff members and then my wife and I as well. So I pay mods, editors. I've got someone that helps me with all my socials and stuff. I have people that help me with content creation side of things. There's a lot that I pay. A lot of people I pay. I'm missing. My brain's not working right now with this. It's actually stunned me, this question, a little bit. So there's a lot of people I pay. It's so I try and give back as much to the people that help me as well. It wouldn't be. I won't tell you the exact number, but an average month is 6 figures, and I'm not even one of the big fish. That's in Australian dollars. It's in Australian dollars. My wife's going to kill me for saying that, but obviously staff wages on top, and my staff wages are, I don't want to say it specifically, but I would say my staff wages are quite high. I pay my staff quite well. Anyone who's on 10 to 20,000 subs with sponsors and all that will be making 6 figures. If they're not, they're doing something really fucking wrong. But that's not, okay, I got to be very clear. That's not every month, but that's a pretty decent average month. You guys can do the math. Like, I've had 28,000 subs at one time. So you do 28,000 subs, I get between 2.5 and 3.5 a sub on that. There's nearly 6 figures just in subs alone. How many hours in average work week for you? In a week, 80, maybe 100. It depends on the month and the week, sorry. My mum got me this, made me this oats, but we're out of milk, so I don't know if she used the almond milk. And the almond milk didn't taste very good yesterday. And if you did, you tax in Australia or America? Part of it goes to America. A very small part. I think 5 to 10% goes to America. By the way, that's before taxes, chat. About 5 or 10% goes to America, depending on if it's YouTube or Twitch. I own a company, or we run a company. And so I get taxed 30% of all money. So on the very first dollar, I get taxed at 30%. So say I made 100 grand in a month, 30,000 of it's paid in tax straight away. And then, you know, say I've got, I don't know, say a third of that goes to staff wages. So it's not like I'm putting 100 grand in my pocket and I'm like going like crazy with it. After taxes, staff wages and all that, I'm not putting 6 figures in my pocket. I can tell you that. Do you like cheese? If so, what do you like to put it on? What's your favorite type? Pizza and sausages. I like to put like on my hot dogs and stuff. But I don't call them hot dogs. We have sausages and bread. I put cheese on that too. What type? I don't know. Mozzarella? I don't know. I'm just like a dude that just likes eating. I like all the cheeses. My wife does all the brie with the dips and stuff, and she puts them on a platter for me, and then I eat it all. At the start of what you said, maybe not jokingly, this would be the last what. It's hard to accept this game could move beyond needing one every 3 months. How do you reconcile with a future in that? I was joking. The game originally was going to be once the game was released, there'd be no more wipes, but even Nikita said that he doesn't see this game happening without wipes. So he thinks that there might be kind of a similar format to Path of Exile, where there's the standard league and then there's the seasonal league. And I think that's probably where Tarkov will end up. So that's how I can reconcile with it, because I think we'll see. I have to wait and see. How you get so thick. I bodybuilt from when I was about 19 to about 23. And I was very strict with my my gym workouts and my diet. My max deadlift was 204 kilograms. And max bench was 141. I can't remember what max squat was. It was a lot. I didn't really like squats a lot because I always felt like it was too much pressure on my shoulders, spine. Whereas like lifting something up is a little bit different to having all that pressure down on your back. So I never went full max on squat. I always felt really nervous with it. Yeah, I used to be really, really strict with my working out. That's how you get so thick. How hard would it be for someone like with little to no experience to get into video editing, learn the skills, and find a full-time job doing it? I've been very interested in it for a very long time, but have just been afraid that I won't be able to make the salary I make right now to keep food on the table for my kids. Thanks, Beth. Start it as a hobby. Anything you think you'd enjoy doing as a job, start it as a hobby and do it for a bit of fun. I guess like you should really ask my editors, it's not me, but it's a matter of you've got to build up your skill set so then you actually are employable. No one's going to employ someone who has no skill. So unless you start editing videos for fun and then you get to the point where you actually can make decent videos, then you become employable. Most editors I know work on a contract basis, as in like they'll be like, well, you know, pay per video. We want you to do 4 videos this month. We'll pay you X dollars per video, and that's how it works. To get a full-time editing job like I give my editors, I think it's probably very, very rare. I don't think there'd be many people or many YouTubers and that would actually have full-time editors that pay a full-time salary to their editors, because of the fact that I have a lot of videos I put out. It's just easier to pay them a monthly wage than to pay them per video. Unless you work for a company, there's a few companies out there that what they do is they actually hire editors, have them as full-time editors, and then they bring in all the clients, and then the editors do all the work for all the clients. So honestly, this isn't a question that's really targeted for me. It's probably better addressed to my editors, but it would be a lot of work. Anything you do that you want to do as a career is going to take you a lot of work. So if you really want to do it, mate, put the time and effort in, do it as a hobby, build up the skill sets, and then start pursuing it as a career. If you could go to one of the wonders, natural or otherwise, of the world, which one would it be and why? Probably the pyramids. I think the pyramids would be really cool. I've heard they're underwhelming, but my mum and nana have always wanted to see them. I don't think my nana has. So I think it'd be cool if I could go and see it. That's probably it for me. Guys, I got to drive my mum to the airport. So a bit of a shorter stream today, but we thought we'd mix it up with the Ask Me Anything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This video, I'll get it cut up and put up on YouTube. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Maybe chuck some questions in the comments and I might answer them. All right. Actually, I'll answer 5. You'll get 5 questions I'll answer. And make sure you subscribe, notification bell. Keep up to date. I don't post videos here very often on the Armas channel, so this is where you'll find them.